Here's a segment from a recent Gun Talk radio episode. You can listen to all the Gun Talk radio podcasts however you tune in, or check out guntalk.com for more. All right, welcome back. I'm Tom Gresham. It's Gun Talk. You know, we talk about a lot about the fact that our interest in firearms is really all over the place. Sometimes it's just because we like to shoot. Sometimes it's we want a gun for self-defense or for hunting or for long-range competition. Sometimes we just kind of like a gun. It's cool. Often we have collectors who you just say, well, I'm not really a collector, but this belonged to my daddy or my granddaddy or whatever. And we've got that connection. So there's that wrapped up. And then you have the military collectors and you go, well, this is actually a piece of history. And a lot of them are. I mean, World War I, World War II guns, and people collect those. They have these incredible collections, and I'm glad that they keep those around. And then every once in a while you get one you're going, this is off the charts in terms of history. I mean, this is like real history, like more than you can even imagine. Joining us to talk about a gun exactly like that, one that is that, in fact, Kevin Hogan, president of Rock Island Auction Company. Hey, Kevin, glad you're here.
Mr. Gresham, thanks for having me. Happy to be here. Thank you.
Oh, absolutely. So, I mean, this is one of those deals that, like, once in a lifetime, you get a gun like this, right?
Well, yeah, 100%. I'm actually walking around the preview hall here. I have it all to myself. It's extraordinary. I'm like walking around a museum, but this is one of those opportunities, and you never know. We're always amazed on what's out there and stuff that's still hidden out there, and stuff comes out. But this is one of those opportunities, absolutely. All
right, tell everybody what you got here.
Well, are we talking about Hamilton, or are we talking about?
I was thinking about Hamilton.
Bat Masterson.
Well, Bat Masterson certainly, but I'm thinking specifically more about Alexander Hamilton's flintlock holster pistols. Holy cow!
Yeah. There are no seconds, there are no thirds. It is a once in a lifetime shot. There was a pair of pistols that were attributed to George Washington that were sold about 20 years ago, and they've been since institutionalized. But how do we have provenance on something that's 100 years old, 200 years old, let alone something from 1780? And that's what we have here with Alexander Hamilton's holster pistols. They came right out of the family. They came actually right up Hamilton Grange, which is now a National Historical Park, in 1942 by his great-great-grandson. And they're being offered to the world on May 14th.
I mean, and as you say, some of them become institutionalized. So they go to a museum, they're not going to be sold on the market. I mean, you can't own a lot of these guns. It is, first of all, it's rare to even know about something like this, but then for it to actually be available to where anybody who wants to can bid on this.
That's the beauty of it. That is the beauty of it, 100%. And not even just come see it. And that's what I encourage people to do. Like I said, I'm walking around our preview hall here right now. It's 14,000 square feet, and it's the greatest gun museum you've ever seen. But you can touch and hold this stuff and see it. You don't have to, pay the admission, press your face up against museum glass to see this stuff. You can actually really get an intimate experience with this history here when you come look at the stuff as a preview day.
Where is it?
It's in Rock Island, Illinois. So our sales May 14th, 15th, and 16th, but our preview day is May 13th. It's open to the public, and quite frankly, it's the greatest gun event that nobody knows about. We do it 5 times a year, and it really is an event. I like to. The closest equivalent would be the Barrett-Jackson of firearms, and here we are.
Wow, RockIslandAuction.com. So these pistols, I know that you put these estimates on it. You think of the range it might go for. So what's your estimated price on this pair of pistols that belong to Alexander Hamilton?
Yeah, so we put a pretty broad range on them, and it's a phone book number. We put $1 million to $3.5 million, and your guess is as good as mine. Last time we spoke, we had the Teddy Roosevelt Colt single action going up for sale, and that brought a world record for a Colt single action. That brought $1.46 million. It's so, again, we're talking phone book numbers, and again, kind of, we talked last time, and the world's changed even since last time we spoke. When you look at these non-fungible tokens everybody's buying and selling, which I can't understand, and I always talked about, the playing cards. Well, a LeBron James rookie basketball playing card just brought $5.2 million, and he's not my role model. I think Alexander Hamilton's a much greater role model. And look at what we have here in his holster pistols that he used in the American Revolution. So cheap is not an inadequate word to describe it, but the history and what you're buying and what that means and what we have here at $1 million to $3.5 million compared to some of these other alternative hard asset investments, here's a shot.
And if somebody said, okay, yeah, I'm in, I've got some savings, I want to do this, how does it work? How do you start getting involved in an auction like this?
Sure. So it's our job, we say, to hit the easy button for all of our clients. And so we present multiple bidding platforms so you can come live and bid, raise your card. And that's what we encourage the most, because this is something to behold now. In the world that we live in today. Again, like I said, we want to hit the easy button for everybody. So you can also bid over a telephone. We'll set up approximately 35 of our own employees to represent people not just around the United States, but around the world. We'll have about 33 countries participate in the sale next weekend. And then you can also bid on our own live internet bidding platform, Rock Island Live. So we stream the auction live, and you can bid in real time. And that's if you like watching guns sell, and like I said, compare it to Barrett Jackson or Meekum,
right,
you can sit there in your living room and watch the game on the TV and have your computer going and watch this stuff sell too. So it's a great way to participate as well.
And that website, you say, was Rock Island Live?
You can find it right on our own website, rockislandauction.com, but it's our own live bidding software where we host our own auction. You can bid.
All right. And you meant, and this is cool. It's unbelievable. Well, first of all, let me ask you, would this approach possibly whatever the record is? I don't know what the record is for the most expensive gun going at auction. Yeah,
so we actually set the record 2018 for a Colt Walker. It was a civilian example of a Colt Walker, serial number 1022, the Danish Sea Captain gun that brought $1.86 million. And absolutely, this would be world record category. It's a pair.
Well,
so
yeah.
I guess, I don't know, we can split hairs, but absolutely capable of setting a new world record. I've said it's an Adam and Eve moment for what we're doing, in that it's the history that's there and the opportunity that's there, that it is, as you said, when we started, a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. And to me, it'll be everything that happened before this and everything that happened after this, because that's the potential that they have.
And, you can just go in there and watch it. You don't have to bid. You can actually just watch the auction, right?
Correct.
Now,
yes, sir.
and people are going to say, okay, how do you know? How do you know these belong to Alexander Hamilton?
Right, and that's where provenance on anything is so incredibly important, and that's where it's so difficult on objects that are so old. And so what we have here is actually, it's not only his holster pistols, but it's also his field epaulets. And the guns were sold in 1942 to a pioneer in gun collecting and gun dealing. His name was Bob Abels, and he was right in New York City. And he is, if there was a Mount Rushmore of gun dealers, he would be on it, because he kind of really started it, and he bought them right out of the family. And there was a letter of affidavit signed explaining not only who he was, but it actually described the pistols, which is great, because you're looking at a pair of just more or less ordinary utilitarian flintlock holster pistols, but it actually described the pistols in length and went into great detail. So those were sold, I believe, in October of 1942. The epaulets were also sold the same year, November of 1942. And there's about 6 or 7 other artifacts not included in this lot that were also sold out of Hamilton Grange in 1942 by this descendant. And the affidavits are identical. Apparently, he got into some financial stress and had to sell some of the family heirlooms. And all the letter of affidavits are spot on, same year, same date, same signature, same letterhead, same everything. And it's pretty unique.
All right, switching real quickly, I only got a minute or so left. You mentioned you got a Bat Masterson gun.
Yes, sir. We have, switching gears, but of equal notoriety. Well, not equal, but different. But we have a Colt single action that was ordered by William Barclay Masterson, Bat Masterson, in 1888 on letterhead from Dodge City, he writes to Colt, and he asks for a 5.5-inch Colt single action with an extra high front sight. And it's all detailed in the factory letter, and that's also in the auction here. This auction is just really incredible. It's what we do for a living, but this sale is very special.
Wow.
A lot of great pieces.
If somebody had a gun and said, it's kind of special, I think maybe I'd like to have you guys sell it for me. Can you do that?
Absolutely. That's it. Yes, sir. Absolutely. So typically what cell phones have helped out quite a bit. We encourage everybody, hey, send us a picture of what you have. We'll take a look at it. We'll tell you what we think it would do at auction. Mm-hmm. And we'll be straight up honest with you. We always say we can't make a gun something it's not. And so, sure. Family heirlooms are tough to put a price on. And speaking to this Bat Masterson gun, but, a lot of stuff gets passed down through oral tradition that's not very well documented. So like I said, we can't make a gun something it's not. But if you're curious and you think you have something special or just something ordinary, we sell a lot of $500 guns. So it's just not the $1 million stuff and the $100,000 stuff. We sell a lot of ordinary guns. That's our real bread and butter in our business. But send us a photo and we'll tell you what we think.
Okay, sounds good. And it's rockislandauction.com. I really appreciate it. This is super exciting, Kevin.
Thank you for having me.
Absolutely. You take care. Man, that is very cool. And of course, now with the musical, Hamilton, all of that, a lot of interest in Alexander Hamilton, people that maybe not have even known who he was or anything, now they know about it. There may be people getting into this who are not even into guns. It would be fun to watch this thing online live. Very cool. Check it out, rockislandauction.com.